Welcome, everyone. My name is Melody Brooks, and I am the Artistic Director of the New Perspectives Theater Company. And this is New Perspectives' new pilot program seeking to create conversations across borders using the unique power of theater to tell the truth, no matter how much those in power wish we didn't. This project grows out of connections made via the League of Professional Theater Women's Gilder Quanier International Theater Award Program. And we ask your indulgence with our first event as we work out our format. So we'll just reiterate what was sent to you via email, that you should be muted and invisible while we make the presentations. And then we hope to hear from all of you when we get to our question and answer section. Our goal is to correct the record, to challenge government suppression of information and corporate media bias so that we can learn what is actually happening on the ground with real people in troubled areas around the world. Through our discussion after the presentations, we can hopefully explore ways in which we all might make a difference. And you can find out more about this project via the New Perspectives website, and Penny, who is our moderator, Zoom person, is putting the link in the chat. So if you want to know more, you can learn about our partnership and what we have in plan for the next 12 weeks. I'd like to now introduce IMAN AOUN from Ashtar Theater, who is our curator for the Palestine section of Theater from the Streets. Welcome, IMAN. And I will let her further explain what this work is all about.
Hello, thank you, Melody. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are in this world. And thank you for this initiative that had been an answer to a call that was put by the Palestinian Performing Arts Network in Palestine upon the 11 days of attack by the Israeli occupation on Gaza, and by the escalation of the attempt to evacuate many homes and families from Sheikh Jarrah neighborhood and from Silwan neighborhood. And so we as Palestinian artists and arts organizations, as we strongly condemn these massacres and perpetrated by the Israeli army against innocent civilians in Gaza and in Jerusalem. So we called upon artists around the world to boycott Israel and ask for fans and followers to take action and reject Israeli products and take action in order to help us as artists and as people on the ground to end such atrocities and to stand with justice and human rights. So we ask for the solidarity of our kin artists from around the world. And this project was one of such answers to this call. Of course, we are very thankful for each and every person that was with us in this on this call, and we welcome every one of you in this session, which is the first in this pilot project. And today we will be having 3 artists who will be reading 3 different or 2 artists will be reading 2 different plays that they have written specifically for this project, and 1 artist from Gaza will be showing a short video that was done in a little bit before this project was put on call. So without further ado, I would like to introduce our first artist, Ali Abu Yasin from Gaza. He's the director at Ashtar Theater in Gaza and manager of Al Bayader for theater and arts in Gaza. Ali is a Palestinian actor and director who started his work in 1990 as actor. In 94, he directed his first play, The Clown. In the last years, Ali started also participating in TV and drama series. In 2004, he received his first Best Actor award from the Tunisian Theatre Festival for his one-man show, Abu Arab. In 2010, Ali trained and directed youth who wrote the Gaza monologues with Ashtar Theatre. He also worked as a manager in the Palestinian national TV. Ali directed and acted in more than 40 plays and trained more than 200 young actors in Gaza since 2000. Ali had written a piece that was called The Flag, that will be read, or I Want a Flag, that will be read by his son, Amjad Abu Yasin. Amjad is a Palestinian actor who started his career in 2010 with Gaza monologues as a young trainer. He received a diploma in theater from Ashtar for theater productions and training. He was part of many plays such as Schools in 2012, The Cage in 2014, and Romeo and Juliet in Gaza in 2016. He debuted his first work as director with the play Habiba in 2018. Lately, he is acting in a new play called Ghalia. I leave you with Amjad, who will be reading the piece I Want a Flag, written by Ali Abu Yasin.
Hi, everyone. I just want to say I'm so pleased to be here, and it's really honor to be in this project, Theater from the Street. I want to introduce Mr. Ali, who has written this play. And he just want to say to you that he is happy to be part from this production. And I'm gonna start reading the play. I Want a Flag, Friday, the 14th of May, 2021. Like all the people of Gaza, we were following the news. And when we heard that my nephew, Ahmed, was killed by an Israeli missile, we had to go to pray for his soul and bury him. The movement during the war was very difficult, so we had to be quick. This is why I wore my unmatched socks and rushed out of home. My children, Suhaib is 14 years old, Abdulrahman is 8 years old, and Yahya is 11. Followed me. They all wanted to come with me to the mosque. Maha, my wife said, don't take them with you. It's not safe. They all went back home except Suhaib, who told me, I want to go see my cousin before they bury him. Suhaib and I went out and walked at the funeral, where all banners and the flags were raised. There were a lot of dust, loud voices, screams and explosions from afar and many times from close, in addition to the sound of drones that never stopped. We were all hustling. Suddenly, Suhaib shook my shoulder and told me, Dad, I want flag. I didn't answer. They continued walking. Everyone around us was shouting, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. God is great, God is great. Suhaib shrugged my shoulder again, this time harder, and said, I want a flag. Okay, okay, you made me crazy. I told Ibrahim, who was distributing the flags, give him a flag. After a while, Suhaib one more time said, I want a flag. I asked Ibrahim, Why didn't you give him one? Ibrahim, I gave him one, but your son doesn't want any flag. He wants the flag of Palestine. Okay, man, so give him that and keep him quiet. Ibrahim brought the flag of Palestine and gave it to Suhaib. Suhaib walked at the funeral, raising the flag up along with his hand, waving it right and left. After we buried Ahmad, we went back home. I found Suhaib folding the flag carefully, whipping it with his palms as if ironing it, and hide it under his pillow. He later took a smaller flag out of his bucket, which he had taken from a boy on the road back. Went to his younger brother, Omar, who is 6 months old, and told him, see, I did not forget you. Look what I brought you, a flag. Kissed his brother and tucked the flag under his pillow. That afternoon, my wife told me, I want to go to Abdelfattah's house to visit my sister, change mood, and keep the children away from this sad atmosphere. You can go to your sister's house for condolences. That night, I slept at my sister's house, who spent all night crying over her son, and none of us were able to sleep. Saturday, the 15th of May, 2021. Next day, all of Gaza woke up on the sound of bombing of Abu Hatab building, west of Shati refugee camp, and the death of 8 children and their mothers. The minute I heard the news, I found myself on the rubble of that building, screaming and calling out, Maha, Suhaib, Abdurrahman, Yahya, Omar. People were lifting me from the rubble, and everyone was crying and screaming. I didn't know how I found myself in the hospital while people were carrying my son, Omar. They said, peace be upon you. Thank God, your son is still alive. They took him out from under the rubble, and he was still alive. They put Omar in my arms. I cried and said, thank God, oh Lord, you kept him for me. We went to the mosque to pray for my family and bury them. Before they carried them away to the cemetery, I said to the crowd, wait a minute. I ran home, grabbed Suhaib's flag from under his pillow, and came back. We covered Suhaib with the flag, and the men carried him over their heads, and the flag was flying like when Suhaib was carrying it at his cousin's funeral. Suhaib's voice was still in my head. I want flag. I want flag. I came home, found my sister sitting, waiting for me, carrying my son Omar in her arms. I took him, kissed him, and put him in his bed. When I realized under his pillow the flag that Suhaib brought him yesterday, I raised my head to the sky and said, oh God, isn't it enough? Written by Ali Abu Yasin, Gaza, 2020. Thank you all.
Thank you, Amjad. Thank you, Amjad. Thank you, Ali. Okay, that was I Want a Flag, written by Ali Abu Yasin. You have it now in the chat in English and in Arabic. The second writer who will be with us today is Dr. Abdelfattah Abusrour. Dr. Abdelfattah is a founder and director of Al-Ruwad Cultural and Arts Society, established in 19 1998 in Aida refugee camp in Bethlehem. His concept and philosophy, Beautiful Resistance, using performing and visual arts, culture and education, is a creative and peaceful expression in situations of oppression and trauma to provide possibilities to save lives and inspire hope and build peace within individuals to be peace builders in their communities and beyond. Abusrour is an author, actor, and theater director with a PhD in biological and medical engineering from France. Abusrour is the first Ashoka Fellow social entrepreneur in Palestine, and he is a Synergos Social Innovator Fellow. Abusrour was elected president of Palestinian Theatre League and many other organizations. He has done conferences and practical workshops in different countries using beautiful resistance to empower people through building peace within themselves and be active change makers. And instead of waiting for miracles to happen, be able to act and provoke miracles to happen. Dr. Abdelfattah Abusrour will be reading It Will Be Sunny Tomorrow.
Thank you, IMAN. Wonderful to see a lot of familiar names and faces. It's a pleasure to be with you. Sounds of a great explosion. Images in the background and dust is everywhere. And then appears a journalist and his cameraman. The cameraman is looking into a camera with huge zoom lens. Journalist, what do you see? Ah, I see soldiers and people. They are dancing. What? Looks like they are celebrating. And snipers? Invisible. Blackout. A number of white coffins spread on stage. As a ray of light comes in circles, we hear celebrating, accelerating voices over VO of media. Hamas rockets. Israel has the right to defend itself. Hamas is terrorist. Israel has the right to defend itself. Rockets, defense, terrorism, Israel, Hamas, Arabs, Jews. A man, a garbage collector, enters with his broom. He stands, looks around, sees the coffins, raises his hands, and whispers Al-Fatiha, making a prayer for the dead. He turns around on stage, sees the audience, he looks at them. Who are you? Who do you think you are? Who do you think they are, pointing at the coffins? Who do you think I am? In the background, voices come up and down and over each other. Terrorists, terrorists. Innocent people, terrorists. Child, terrorist. Woman, terrorist. All people, terrorist. Human rights, terrorist. Really? The garbage collector. Really? While sweeping the floor and stopping reactions from time to time with voiceover interventions. I hear many people say, oh, Palestinians are resilient. They can take it all and still resilient, still resisting, never tired. They are nice, kind, and powerful. They are terrorists, hospitable and wonderful. Terrorists, human beings, terrorists. Maybe Palestinians, all of this, maybe not. People are people, good and bad, all colors in between. Yes, Palestinians are resilient. They have been resilient for 73 years. Gaza, how many wars? They are crazy. They are still painting, dancing, making films, do theater, fall in love, make children, go to the university, even design drones that go to Mars. Isn't that wonderful? Hamas is terrorist. Nazareth, Haifa, Jaffa, Lod, Bir Saba, aren't they Palestinians? Did they forget? Did they melt down? Jerusalem still there. No ethnic cleansing has pushed them to abandon their city. Arabs, want to throw the Jews to the sea. Oh yes, Palestinians are resilient, but do you think they are superheroes? For how long? One of the coffins starts to shake, and white-dressed girl comes out of it. She looks around here to garbage collector and to the audience. My name is Shaima Abul my dear, my beloved Anas. Since 2 years and a half we were engaged, I finished the dentistry school and became a dentist. You worked hard to finish our apartment so we can celebrate our wedding after Eid and be united finally. 2 nights ago, you contacted me by WhatsApp. I remember. You asked me where I was. I told you I am here at home. Huge bombs were shaking our building. Suddenly, everything was dust. I felt ascending in the clouds. The view from above was exceptional. When the bombs fall on buildings and everything explodes, the building inside out, vomiting flames and dark clouds, breathless life suffocates under the ruins. Anas, my beloved, I saw you when you came searching for me. I smiled at you. You smiled back. I heard you when you told me I was beautiful, that I was luckier than you, that you loved me, that you were happy for me. We didn't marry in this life. I am waiting for you in the life above. Light fades on Shaima as she flies. Garbage collector. Allah yarhamak, Shaima. Fly, fly, Shaima. Your real life is better now. Anas, you have long way to go. Fall in love, finish your apartment soon, get married, have children, but you may not have a free care for your teeth anymore. Neither Anas nor Shaima were superheroes, just 2 Palestinians who met at the edge of life. Terrorists! A girl of about 10 years old enters disoriented, goes around the coffins while talking with crying of children. What can I do? I am just a child. I am 10 years old kid. I want to be a doctor. I want to help my people. But what can I do? I'm just a kid. Look around. What do you think? I have witnessed 3 wars in my short life. 3 wars, destructions and ruins. I'm just a kid who dreamed to be a doctor, to rescue my people. She fades away while another coffin opens and a man dressed in white appears. I don't know who will read my stories to you, my jewels, my angels. Will your uncle take my place and read you bombardment time stories? Don't cry, it's just fireworks. It's another party. You will understand when you grow up. I pray the Almighty that you will grow up old with no fears, no tears of fear or panic, no more horror or destruction. Until we meet again, I will whisper you bombardments times, stories to calm you down. I love you. I love you. Man fades away in a heavy white smoke. The garbage collector is sweeping the floor around the coffins. How many more stories to tell? How many more martyrs to fill the heavens? How many more families erased? How many children will grow up old? How many more fatherless or motherless or parentless children will be drawn from under the ruins? Oh, no, 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 no. You will not escape this by shedding a tear or making a donation. You will not. I'll sweep your tears. I will clean the dust of hypocrisy and the vomits of politics. I will whisper stories of those who ascended above, those who are lost under the ruins, or in the nameless tombs of cemeteries of numbers, or in the dark cells. I'll sweep the agony of lies and burden of broken promises. I will watch you. I will watch over your children. I will tell your children, tomorrow will be sunny. Full light on stage, full light facing audience, sound of an explosion, darkness, voice of journalist. Did you get this? End. Thank you.
Thank you, Abdelfattah. Thank you so much for this piece and for the images of Aida Camp behind you also, so that our audience would know where you are and what they have seen behind you. Now we will move to our third participant, Jamileh Tawfiq, 24 years old. She holds a BA in English, French literature and works as a freelance photographer and translator in Gaza. She made her first film last October, Me, My Bike and the Sea, and another short film during the last war on Gaza entitled 1 Week of Nightmares. After the film, we will be listening to Jackie Lubeck. Jackie is a multinational, no-national playwright living the better part of her life in Palestine. She is the co-founder of Theatre Day Productions, an organization which is both a production house for youth theater and a training center for drama. Lubeck works throughout the Palestinian territories, but the biggest operation of TDP is in the Gaza Strip, where she is both a writer and a designer. TDP, Theatre Days Production, built 2 professional theaters in the Gaza Strip. In 1998 for the municipality and in 2006 for TDP. Previous to this, she was a co-founder of Al-Hakawati Theatre Company, not to be confused with the Palestinian National Theatre. Al-Hakawati created original plays on the Palestinian experience between 1979 and 1990, in addition to building the first theater in Jerusalem. Lubeck's life is in 2 acts, both Palestinian. Lubeck is born and bred in Brooklyn. Me and my bike.
Today, I resolve to take a breath and begin. Focus on what I really want, slowly, surely, and patiently. What I must not abandon is my hope. Yes, I was afraid, maybe terrified. But once I felt the wind against my face, liberating me, I couldn't think of anything but to enjoy the moment, to fully embrace it. All I could care of that this is my shot, my day, my one life, and nothing will stop me.
Thank you, Jamileh. And now I'll leave you with Jackie Lubeck to tell us a little bit about this video. Jackie, to you.
Hello. Well, this was the result of an audio video training that we did in Gaza. I don't know where we are anymore in time. In September, October, it was all done online. There was 20, 25 young women. And at that time, because COVID was in and we were stuck, we decided to do the training online. It was part of a 3-year program. And we said to the girls, please film. Now, Jamileh does not have a good internet. We've been trying to get her all day today, and we cannot hook up with her and link with her. But I know that when she came to explain why she made this film and why it looks like a kind of a simple film, she has never ridden a bike in Gaza. No woman has ridden a bike in Gaza. She got up, I think, at 6 in the morning or 7 in the morning before Gaza's up. And she had help with moving the bike to a place where she could film and have people help her film. And that was the only way that she could ride her bike. And I remember when we were talking about it, she said, all I ever wanted to do is to ride a bike. And she rode her bike. So that's kind of a small slice of a very small dream that is quite difficult to do in Gaza. It's impossible to do. Nobody's riding a bike in Gaza. I think the guys are riding some bikes, merchants, people who sell things. But that's the story of Jamileh, her bike, and the sea in Gaza. It was an exercise and we liked it. And there you go. Thank you.
Thank you, Jackie. Thank you all for being patient with us and for seeing and watching and listening to our artists. And now I'm going to pass the microphone to Malini, who will be conducting the Q&A with the audience. So Malini, to you.
Malini, unmute your mic.
I had this beautiful, I said all these beautiful things. So I will now, I will re-say them again. I just wanted to thank each and every one of you for sharing your stories. I was quite moved by it and taking it all in, and I'm very excited to moderate this conversation. Again, my name is Malini Singh McDonald. I'm the founder of Theater Beyond Broadway, which is a platform that fosters and promotes the independent artists. So all of us who are creating theater out on these streets. And the conversation is going to revolve around what is a day in the life? How can we correct that record? You know, what are the action items? So just some housekeeping. We ask that all speakers just take your time. I have to remind that to myself as we are international. So we are dealing with internet lag, etc. And For our participants and attendees today, if you have any questions, please drop them in the chat and we will definitely pose them to our artists. So here we go. You know, isn't it enough? People are people, good and bad, all colors, in between, nobody rides a bike. Enjoy the moment. So my question for our artists is, yes, everything is political and everything that we do, but what is a day in the life of just the regular person, the garbage collector, the young girl who wants to ride a bike, the merchants, right now in Gaza and on the West Bank? Just for today, what does that look like? Feel free to unmute, turn your camera on, and share.
There's a two-part question or three-part question. I think that they're very, very different in Gaza and the West Bank. Ali, انت معنا؟ انت سامع؟ I'm asking if Ali is with us and listening because they're very different. It's very different realities. It's very different waking up. So I mean, how shall we do this?
Well, why don't we start with
بدك
Abdel?
أجاوب? You want me to speak, to talk
Sure.
about
Yes,
different?
please.
In the
علي.
first, I نعم إيمان.
سوري علي، إذا بنحتاج بتقدر تحكي بالعربي وبنقدر نترجم لك، ما في أي إشكال.
كيف بتقول لك إيش الاختلاف، يعني كيف أنتم بتعيشوا يومكم الطبيعي بغزة أو إيش
صحيح.
الطبيعي بغزة؟
صحيح. نعم صحيح.
يعني إحنا في عندنا أشياء كثير طبيعية بغزة، يعني بدون مبالغة كل يوم الشمس عندنا بتطلع الصبح زينا زي كل العالم. هذا حقيقي بقدرش أنكره.
We have many things that are regular in Gaza that are the same like everywhere else, that the sun rises every day, every morning, like everywhere else around the globe.
وعندنا بحر جميل جدا.
We have a beautiful sea.
وفي عندنا أطفال رائعين، بنات وأولاد.
We have wonderful young people, girls and boys, children.
والناس عادي بتحلم زي كل الناس.
And the people in Gaza, they all dream like everyone else.
ادوي الفيديو يا علي، ادوي الفيديو.
بس الشمس لما بتطلع.
علي ادوي الفيديو تبعك.
فيديو ايش؟
يلا هاي.
هذا هو.
بس الشمس لما بتطلع حزينة. كل أهل غزة بتشوف الشمس حزينة.
But when the sun rises, the people, they see it as a sad sun.
والبحر
melancholic maybe. And that
ملوث وطافح بالمجاري.
And that the sea is filled with sewages and polluted.
والحروب سرقت أحلام الأطفال. وسرقت أساسهم.
And that the wars had stole yes, had stole the dreams of the children, had stole their dreams.
سندباد سفينته تكسرت على البحر في الميناء. اتدمرت.
And that Sindbad's ship or boat had been broken on the shore of Gaza.
والأمير مات في الحرب الأخيرة، حبيب سندريلا.
And the prince, the lover of the princess, is dead in the last war, or was dead in the last war.
في غزة حتى الحلم بحاجة لحرية. يمكن الإنسان بيحتاج لحرية عشان يحلم الحرية. الحصار اللي مفروض على غزة والعزلة اللي غزة بتعيشها كسر جناح الأحلام. يمكن الأحلام محتاج تطير برا غزة عشان تتحقق.
Dreams need freedom to be dreamt. The siege that is imposed on Gaza had engulfed Gaza and its dreams around a wall, and so the dreams need some freedom to be able to free itself and to be able to pertain or to exist or to be realized.
إذا أنتم متابعين الأخبار، كم كبير من الشباب كل يوم في شباب بموتوا بدون سبب ومش عارفين إيش السبب.
If you follow the news, you could hear that every day there are young people or youth who is killed or who is dead, even without knowing the reasons. No one knows why, but every day young people are dead.
إذا في غزة شيء بميز غزة، أنا بظن الناس في ناس كثير مميزين في غزة، مصرين على الحياة ومصرين على الحلم ومصرين على الحرية ومصرين.
If there's anything particular about Gaza, it's the people, because the people, they insist on dreaming, they insist on being free, and they insist on the freedom.
يعني اليوم أنا كنت بدرب في 24 طفل. 12 حوالي يعني 14 بنت و8 أطفال أو 10 أطفال في القطان. قديش كنا سعداء. قديش كان في إصرار على الحياة.
Today I was training a group of children, 14 girls and 8 boys, young people at Al Qatan Foundation in Gaza, and the amount of persistence for life and for living and the happiness to be there is very big.
يعني بسألهم بقول لهم انبسطتوا بالعيد بعيد الأضحى؟ قالوا لا ما كناش مبسوطين، احنا بننبسط لما بنيجي على المسرح. يمكن احنا كفنانين المسرح او سعادتنا صارت من سعادة الآخرين سواء أطفال أو كبار. يمكن بعطينا وهم انه احنا ممكن، او مش وهم، يمكن بعطينا امل، يمكن عندنا ايمان انه احنا ممكن نغير الكون. وانا بشوف الايمان هذا بتحقق بانه المسرح بيصير عابر للقارات. يعني هذا اجتماع، انا بالنسبه لي هذا اللقاء انكم انتم تسمعوا قصه ابو صهيب، هذا مهم جدا. هذه القصه اليوم اللي انا كتبتها هي قصه سمعتها من ابو الاطفال. تفضل.
Okay, so today when I was with the children, I asked them whether they were happy during the Eid, the last feast. They said no, we are happy only when we are doing theater. So maybe for us as artists, we have discovered, we have a belief that through our art, through making theater for others and through working for the sake of others through our art is what gives us some hope and some happiness. And so when I wrote this piece that you have heard today about Abu Suhaib, it is a story of a real person, the man who had lost all his family during the attack, the latest attack on Gaza, the 11 days. So, and I heard it, Ali said, I heard it immediately from the man who had lost his family.
Thank you, Ali.
Excuse me, I can jump just because I feel Palestinians. Sorry, I'm Tobasi from the Freedom Theater, the artistic director. But sometimes I feel Palestinians became so romantic when they start to talk about the case of Palestine. And for me, the reality is much more ugly than we are romantic. We located in West Bank in Jenin refugee camp, shooting 24 hours. drugs, crazy chemical drugs with young people, the dreams of young people to become grow up with the gun and with the car, stolen car or stolen FISBA, and they're looking for how to get money, because all of the people who graduate from the universities have no jobs, no work. We have a bigger problem than the occupation this time, which is the PA, the Palestinian Authority. It's very corrupted. People do not trust political parties. We lost leadership. We lost respect to each other. We lost trust. We don't have any project that show hopes to the young Palestinians. We are not really patient. We're still alive because we're just running to the front. We don't know where we're running to. We don't know what happened to the past. The time going very quickly. And for me, I think Palestinians, after some time, there will be a little group lives in democratic Israel. We will disappear as a nationality if this continue in this way. There is two projects, the BA leading their projects with their benefits, their money, their corruption, and the young people in this kind of areas, sea areas, camps, the not center cities, they are really facing unknowing future that nobody knows what's gonna happen. Mazen, the leader of the PA, is dying soon, inshallah, and the problems will be much more complicated. We don't have any clear path where we're going. Even as an artist, you are not normal artist in normal situation. You're not doing a normal theater. You're not talking about normal cases. You face the same pressure, same struggle as an artist. We fighting community, we fighting culture, we fighting religion, we fighting politics, we fight occupation. I mean, it's a very distraction for any young people to grow up in this kind of situation. Nobody knows what's the ideal plan or program to make people in Palestine seeing any future or trust anything. So sorry, I'm really bored. Sorry for that. Not everyone maybe know me before, but even me myself, I became bored of myself talking about the same cases, talking about the same problem, talking about same case all the time, and nothing changed. It just get worse and worse and worse. And I'm afraid really to marry, even as a Palestinian Arabic culture. Still, I'm not married, and I'm thinking thousands of times where I went to bring my child in Palestine. Palestine looks like nice, people having normal life, but I'm telling you what is going on, totally covered in different colors, in different words. And I believe in international big movement can make pressure, not just on Israeli government, even on the Palestinian government, which is the PA. We do, before 40 days, the PA killed one of the most well-known name, Nizar Banat, which he was against the PA, and he was talking about corruption. He get killed. So even not the Israeli occupation, even the Palestinian ourselves, we have a problem. So sorry for that.
أنا بشوف الموضوع
thank you.
Thank you, Tabasi.
يعني
شكرا تباسي. شكرا تباسي. اوكي دقيقة علي عشان الاشي مش بينج بونج لو سمحتوا. So we go back to Malini.
Yeah, go back to Malini.
We go back to Malini. Malini will conduct the talk. So شكرا تباسي. شكرا علي.
Thank you. Well, thank you for all that, because that actually leads to my second question, which is, amidst all this, where are you finding space, solitude? Where are you finding places to be a storyteller? How are you writing? And is that it doesn't seem like that exists from what you're sharing, but how does that happen? How are you doing that? Because all three pieces were so incredibly moving. What's the process? And then what can we, universal we, do as action items to make a change. And I'm not saying that, oh, a change, but what can we do? Abdelfattah, did you want to share? No pressure.
Yes, thank you. I guess we do not have a magical wand to make the world according to our wishes and hopes and dreams. Yes, we are romantic and we fall in love and get married and have children, and we want to give them the best we want and the best life they should have as children. Yes, I am fed up of having children in my classes. When I ask them about their dreams and hope, they say, I want to die because nobody cares. Yes, I am also very empowered and happy with children who want to be doctor, engineer, lawyer, artist, dancer, singer, filmmaker, and so on. We have all of this. We have any banal, normal life anywhere in the world. You can find it in Palestine, and you can find the most horrible, dreadful situation that we could have in any part in the world. Yes, we have tragedies that we weep on for ourselves, and yes, we see tragedies in other parts of the world that we weep on. Yes, we see corrupted people, and we see very faithful and sincere and integer people, whether it's in the BA or in the normal people and normal life we have. Yes, we have parents who care for their children. And yes, we have parents who don't see their children because they are buried on working and working and working to make a living. We have artists who struggle to make art and to give hope and to build this peace within ourselves to be able to continue living, because as artists, we have this magic to create hope, and we have this commitment to hope. And I always say we don't have this luxury of despair, because if we fall in despair and diffuse this negative energy to everywhere around us, then we have nothing to work on, and we have nothing to work for, and we have no commitment to the future generations to make every day that comes more beautiful than the day that goes. So this is where arts are important. That's why I do theater. That's why I left my biology degree, because I believe that I can do better for children and for Palestine and for the world with theater and arts. Because when you see a film or read a theater play or listen to music or watch a theater play or see a painting or whatever, you fall in love with it or don't based on how much it touches you, not based on where it comes from. So this is where stereotypes disappear. And these are the bridges that we can build together to shape a better future for the generations to come. And this is the energy we can get, and that is empowering us and empowering the generations to come. And that's why we do what we do. With or without money, we do it. A lot of things have changed in Palestine with this funding come with dictations to do this piece and that piece, not based on our needs and priorities, not based on consulting with us in what we are really wanting to do, but based on a funder. We do a theater play, 10 shows, we have a snack for children and bring them free of charge, and the piece goes on, and another project, another play, and so on. But the real context of making a theater that make a change, that ask the hard questions, and not giving answers to provoke people to act and not just to react to things. This is the issue for me of doing theater. And that's why we are doing what we do, whether it's Iman or Ali or Jackie or Tubasi or whoever. I think we have this magic and this power to make a change. Of course, it is not easy to make immediate change. It will take time. It's not a magical wand. And if people just want to wake up and everything is fine, then they can continue to dream about it. But it will not happen like this. And it should be within every one of us to have this power and to transmit it to everyone else. Otherwise, we will be lost. The future generations will be lost. My role model is not this politician. My role model is not the Israeli occupation or the Palestinian Authority or Abbas or Fatah or Hamas or whoever. I work with everybody, but not under the umbrella of anybody, because I want to see a change. I want to make it effective. I want to leave these possibilities where we share a lot of things that should bring us closer to each other. And the differences should enrich us in a way that serves our cause and our humanity and the humanity all over the world, and not just us. When I see others suffering, I suffer for them because I cannot be imprisoned without my own suffering and ignore the suffering of others. When we talk about justice, when we talk about human rights, it concerns everybody, and not I am the only one who suffers and the suffering of everybody else does not count. It counts, because if we are not truthful to ourselves and to our values, we cannot be truthful to anything. And this is again the power of arts, to create better role models for the future generations to come. I will not speak longer, but I can because I want to leave space for others.
I mean,
Thank you.
I mean, Abdelfattah, that is just, you know, that's the inspiring speech, right? That's why we are all creating theater. It's why we, as we say in America, why we get on that soapbox, we get into the space, get out on the corner, go in the park, go on the beach and create. So we are able to tell this. So I have a quick question for all of you. And Melody dropped in the chat, which I think is, I'm actually curious too, which is where is that funding coming from? And IMAN responded that the EU or the US, they all put their political conditions on your work and you can't accept money from them. So then how are you funding theater? Are you raising?
Well, to speak about Arwad, we have almost never got any funding for any play that we did. And that's why it's challenging to work with the professionals, except one production that we did with the new Ottawa Theatre with Arthur Milner, the play Facts, that I played with Amr Khalil and Kamil El-Basha at that time in 2011, 2012. This is the only funded play that we got with a specific partner. But as Iman said, US aid, EU are putting pressure to condemn Palestinian armed struggle and political party. And for ourselves, even with my motto, beautiful resistance, I believe every resistance is beautiful, armed or non-armed struggle against injustice, oppression, occupation. So there is no ugly resistance. And there is no resistance that could be condemned, even because it is also permitted by international law and any law in this world against occupation, Israeli occupation or whoever. So that's why I guess we cannot condemn our own resistance, even we are not doing that armed struggle or not, because it is a right for people to resist occupation. So what are they requesting is that we cannot work with this political party or that political party or have children or families or whatever who are affiliated to this political party or that. So we have to whom we are working. We are not working for the Europeans. We are not working for the United States. We are not working for the Israelis. We work for our people and to show their stories and their causes and their hopes and dreams and so on, and transmit it all over the world and build these bridges that we are doing right now with people like you who are committing to the values that we share as human beings, to justice and the freedom and equality and the humanity and dignity and love. And that's why for us, all those who try to dictate us what we can do rather than consult with us and help us do what we really need to do is a challenging situation. So many other organizations, and I guess Iman can talk about it, depend on external funding because they are working with professional artists and they do much more than what we try to do in our context. My focus was on children and young people to give them that space of a beautiful expression. But when you work with freelance artists or whatever, the challenges are more.
Thank you. Iman, thank you, Abdelfattah. So I'm being mindful of time and being mindful of your time as well. But I mean, these conversations could go on for hours and days and forever. Iman.
If I may, yes.
Of course. And if also in your response, if you can just touch on, can we put pressure on funders? Maybe not.
Okay. I mean, I would not take the time of others because we want to listen to others. But only wanted to really draw the attention about two things, about time, and not our time now, but time of in terms of the timeline of the Palestinian cause, and to say that what Abdelfattah was talking about was a deep look into the micro possibility of our work as artists, while Tobasi was talking about the macro issue of what is happening. And that's why I said time on the timeline. Palestine is losing as we are talking. Palestine is facing different challenges from outside, i.e. the funding, but also all political, internal as well as external pressure on our being and our sovereignty and our dream to become a sovereign state. But what we do in facing such horror, we work on the micro level. We keep the love, we keep the art, we keep the doing, we keep the dream ignited in order to proceed, in order to, if we cannot achieve freedom, then maybe our children would, and that is the dream. But with this, we could talk volumes, of course. And why are we here together? And since we are here together, it is important that we think together for more practical continuation, a snowball that has to grow. We are all art people, theater people, theater makers, and we all work for the benefit of our societies. And therefore, we need to really cultivate that sort of working together in order to make the change, because the change can never be from one side only, can never be inside only, can never be outside only. It has to join forces. So I'm sure that other colleagues we have, Suha, Jackie maybe would like to talk, Suha maybe, or Linda, Shibana. We have beautiful people around, Jonathan, David. So, I mean,
I'm going to come back. I'm going to cut you off there, Iman, only because of time. But yes, everybody should turn their video on that is willing to be recorded with us. Linda's been putting some information in the chat. I just want to speak to, this is our first event. We have 3 more focused on Palestine with some pieces from Lebanon. And then we're going to go to Venezuela and then to India. And I think that I just want to say a couple of words from the New Perspectives Theater Company point of view. And that is, we've been around for 30 years, and really social justice and social change is our mission. And one of the things that has struck me as we have experienced the last 6 years here in the US and our politics and the increasing insanity and authoritarianism, is that and the establishment has retreated to a moderate view. Oh, we all have to get along. And I think we need much more radical change. And so the beginning of this conversation is today. We got Tobasi's frustration and need for change. Iman is pointing out a question of time. I would love for us, and we may not do it today, but we've got 3 more weeks, and we can have a continuing conversation. It doesn't just have to be in these Sunday events. If we know who these funders are that are putting in positions, the U.S. theater community can put pressure on them, or we can pressure our local legislators. We have a small theater space in New York. The studio, it seats about 40 people. But as we collect the work from around the world, I want to think about other opportunities besides this venue. These 2 pieces we heard today were devastating, just devastating. And the conversation for us, we want to say, what can we do to make a change? And I don't know that if anyone has the answer, but as Iman said, small steps into, we build a movement, and not just here for Palestine, but for the other areas that we're visiting. And when we finish our 12 weeks, we're going to see what to do with this program. Do we go on to other areas? Do we grow it somehow into something different? So as I mentioned at the beginning, and asking all your indulgence for how are figuring this out, this is part of that discussion. Is there anyone, David and Jonathan or Linda, you've been putting useful information. I know Linda's very good at action items, so I'm going to actually say, do you want to chime in here? And you're muted.
Hello, everybody. Well, we are working, some of us between Noel from the Freedom Theater and some of our other colleagues from Nora Theater, we're working on a campaign to incite our fellow theater makers to stand up and take a position coming out to support the Palestinians. So that's an ongoing project here in this country that I think it's a good time. People are particularly poised after the Black Lives Matter to open up and look at the situation in a new way. So I think we just have to keep yammering and yammering. I don't know, we'll try to send some money to all of you, as I think some of us do already. Individual support is basically what we can, what we can offer at this point. So we have some of the sources here. Yeah, I think let's keep doing this work. I think it opens up a wonderful venue that we should keep going. And I also think, I think some of these stories need to be shared with our politicians, those people who represent us. Because the more, I always say, take people to the West Bank, show them the way people have to live there, and that would open their eyes, right? That simple. Maybe we need to have an educational tour, and we can do a theater. It's a cultural tour, but what happens when you go when you attempt to travel from one site to the next against the walls and the barriers and the armed Israelis and PA for that matter. When you see what it means to negotiate the everyday items in anybody's life, I think that the point is driven home. And of course, United States military support is the thing that's keeping this going. So the most effective thing we can do is to pressure our politicians. They're starting to turn as well. We have a younger generation coming up who, doesn't have a problem with understanding that there's horrible civil rights abuse going on in our name. Wouldn't be happening if the United States weren't supporting, this billions of dollars of military aid, which is what's being used to bomb those poor folk in Gaza. So at any rate, I just think personally, get to know who your representatives are, and stay on them. I mean, I've been working on this for 10 years. Things are starting to change. But as Abed said, it is slow, deliberate kind of work, and you just have to. I mean, the gathering here is what nourishes us, right? This is what keeps us going. The fact that we can meet, and I think that's the good thing about the pandemic and Zoom. We found that it's really strengthening our international connections. So how can we keep building on that? And then how do we get the powers that be to hear this work, see this work? I think that may be a next step for us, Melody, in terms of getting the material out, maybe we could do, if you want to do tighter edits, and we can refine some of the work that we're doing here, but let's get it out into, the wider public. Would be my suggestion.
Yes, and we are recording these, and they will be on YouTube, and we need to do a big push when they're on YouTube to really publicize it. And for us, what we're trying to do as well is get average Americans to watch these and see these, because we, the corporate media bias, we do not ever get the true story of anything here.
Right.
So who else? Does anybody else before we wrap up? Iman, you wanna
just
wrap it up for us, and then we'll call it a day. And we invite you all back. We're going to be sending out. We had a small showing today, although we did invite a fair amount of people, and we had a lot more people respond. So we have to see if that's a question of our not sending the link differently, or if people just found they didn't have time. But you know, we will continue the conversation. Iman.
No, I just maybe before I wrap it up, I just want to say that next Sunday at 7 o'clock Palestine time would be another session. So everybody is also invited to attend. Maybe the talk will be growing as we go along throughout this month, every Sunday at 7. But I also wanted to say that as we are here together, we have different networks. I myself is part of a network, of a gathering, let's say, informal gathering with Jonathan, for example, Chadwick, Ashley and Opelaniete are friends of Ashtar. David Diamond and myself, we are part of TO, Theater of the Oppressed network. So there are different networks that if we all gather our efforts, if we don't only talk to each other, but as you said, Melody, maybe and Linda, maybe open it up to those who do not really know what is happening, because we all know that we need the rest of the society to realize and to understand, especially young Americans and from. So that's, and maybe if we gather our, then a bigger network found on it be formal, but also it can grow and it could bring more outcome of our work together. So I say thank you to everybody there. That's the last chance. If anyone wants to add anything before we leave. Anyone with a Jackie?
It's frozen.
We can hear you.
Huh? I can't hear. I hear you from the other room.
Okay, you could come here and maybe you can talk.
Yeah.
To the people from here.
Yeah, I just wrote, somebody said something. I get quite overwhelmed in such a discussion. I don't know, really. It's so long. It's so many years that I'm here, and it's so many. It's so much. It's been such a story. I really don't know what to say anymore about how we are going to get out of this. I think that right now the whole country is depressed between COVID and between all the new policies that are going on. I think there's kind of, you can hear it, you can feel it. I don't really know what to say. I'm one of them, I think. I don't know what I'm doing and where I'm going. That's all I can admit to at this moment. It's almost, yeah, you know, we see it in Gaza. I even hear it in the voice of Ali. I hear it in Abid. I hear it in, it's something, it just is, it's exhausting. It's becoming exhausting.
We can
Maybe it
hear
is
you
the
well.
generation that will take over.
So hopefully we can help with that exhaustion in some small way sooner rather than later, and you know, and as we keep going, build something bigger, but trying to find small ways in which you know, action steps, we can just do something that's going to be helpful. Spreading the word, growing the movement, all of that is important. But when we meet next week, I'm assuming a lot of you will be back, and hopefully we'll have a bigger gathering. And so you can think about things that you might bring to the table when we see you again. Here, do this, right? and we will all commit to doing it if we can. And
Yes.
on that note, I thank you all, and thank you, Iman, for introducing us to the artist. Hopefully it will be an ongoing relationship. Malini for shepherding us through a conversation, and all the rest of you for attending. And if you have questions, you can send them to us at theaterfromthestreets@gmail.com. There's no spaces, underscores, dashes. It's just theaterfromthestreets@gmail.com. And wherever you are, and for whatever remains of your day, enjoy. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Melody. Thank you all for being with us, and come next week.
Yes. Okay. And
Bye.
Penelope's going to turn off our recording and get ready to kick us all out, right?
Yep. Pausing the
Thank-
recording in 3, 2, 1.